Welcome in, Tarnished. Today we got a new story trailer for the upcoming Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. We're currently sitting at exactly 1 month until the DLC drops. I'm not going to be replaying the trailer in its entirety, so if you haven't seen it yet, I highly suggest watching it. But we're going to go through this shot for shot, and I'm going to attempt to break down what's going on. So in this first scene, we see a bloody hand reaching into a cloth, and we can tell from the bracelet that it's probably Marika's arm, judging by the gold and the swirling pattern of it. As the hand pulls out, we can see these golden threads. It leads me to believe that there is an eye being plucked from here. We see this repeated many times throughout the base game. It could be Mesmer, since he's missing an eye, or this new being that FromSoft had tweeted out could also be the victim here. As Marika is ascending this horrifically bloody staircase, we can hear the Elden Beast theme playing, and we can hear it roar.
An affair from which gold arose.
As Marika is offering up this eye as some sort of sacrifice, we get this great juxtaposition of a shadowy sky and a sky of gold. This entire body-filled mound really reminds me of the Erdtree and the entrance to it. We hear a voice say, "And so too was Shadow born," leading me to believe that the world had some kind of grayness to it. As above, so below. So without light, there couldn't be shadow, and without shadow, no light. I see this entire scene playing out as not only sacrificing an eye to the Elden Beast, but just the overwhelming amount of human life here also being offered up as sacrifice. We can see it all through the base game with Erdtree burial and all the pots feeding minor Erdtrees and the Erdtree with their bodies. What followed was a war unseen. This is just like the first trailer that we got where the voice said they were never saints, they just happened to be on the losing side of a war. Now we are getting actual depictions of this war, and we can just see what an immense force that Mesmer commands. His machinations just completely laying waste to this city as he conjures these black tendril flames that is just igniting the entire vicinity. We then see somebody cradling an object that I have not seen before as they are completely burning. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say that this is Melina just because I can. She says she's burned and bodiless. Well, this looks like a good way to get burned and bodiless, and the trailer makes a specific point to linger on this shot. That's just pointless speculation on my part, but yeah, let's just go with that. We then see the Omen Lion that we got from the first trailer, and now it's pretty clear who Mesmer is going to war against. This Omen Lion leaps at Mesmer, and you could see him just calmly conjuring a black fire with absolutely zero look of concern on his face. And his eye is glowing as he's looking into his flame. We transition to this horrific scene of all these bodies impaled, mostly looking like the Omen Lion, and we see how Mesmer got the title of Mesmer the Impaler. We're not just talking about the 18 inches either. The camera pans up to a shot of the shadow tree, and this is a perspective we haven't seen yet. What looked like from the other previous images that there was golden sap falling from the tree, we can now see that it looks like there is something suspended in front of the tree. I can't help but think that this mirrors how Marika is suspended within the Erdtree, but it also looks like the symbol that she wears on her neck. This necklace we have never seen repeated in-game, but to me it looks very similar. The last third of the trailer is all about Mikalel and his followers. In this trailer, they keep referring to Mikalel as kindly Mikalel, Mikalel the Kind, and it makes me think back to the first Shadow of the Erdtree trailer that we got, where the voice said, "I wonder what kind Mikalel is doing here," but now it makes me think that he's saying, "I wonder what kind Mikalel is doing here," just referring to his title that he has. We see some familiar locations with this symbol that is now pretty much confirmed that Mikalel is leaving these symbols as a way for his adherents to follow him. The narrator says, "even his fate," as it focuses on an image of who I'm going to call Saint Trina. Due to the purple coloration, the flower petals, the fact that we don't see their face, And the falling reminds me of how Roger says that he is on the precipice of falling into a deep, fathomless slumber, and this image invokes that to me. The trailer ends with the knight we've seen from the first trailer kneeling before this symbol of Mikalel with the whole crew of NPCs we've seen before, saying that we choose to follow. So these are the adherents of Mikalel who are following him through the land of shadow. I do want to point out that the narrator in this trailer, we've heard their voice before. In the first trailer where they say touch the withered arm, in this clip,
Come now, touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow.
I said that the narrator is probably the very first character we see in the first shot of the DLC trailer, so let's just say it's this person. Well, what this entire trailer says to me is what we already know of Marika to begin with. She'll wage war, sacrifice, and do whatever she needs to do to further her goals. Put the giants to the sword. The horrific treatment of the Omen by banishing them underground and excising their horns, allowing Omen killers to run wild. And that's what this trailer is clearly depicting. It's just what Marika would go through in order to achieve her goals, no matter how monstrous or terrible. But what remains the biggest mystery is what Mikalel is doing there. It was to this land that Mikalel departed, divesting himself of his flesh, his strength, his lineage, of all things golden. And now Mikalel awaits the return of his promised Lord. And I can say with utmost certainty that his promised Lord was probably Godofroy.